Hey, hello, hi everyone, hi America. How you doing today? Today is March 4th, 2023. My name is Michael Tomlinson. I am an American tear. Let's surf it out. Boom. Um, so, it's the weather's getting kind of crazy now. It was nice earlier today when I was out and about, but now it's starting to get a little windy and cloudy and change. So that's today's weather kind of update. Uh, I'm happy to be here. It's always fun to make these videos, and sometimes but I do have to bring up subjects that are just my personal kind of story. It's my testimony, as to what I'm doing, and as part of me, and where I'm going, and how I got to be in the place I'm in now to start to work on saving America, to help Americans, to unify Americans. I mean, there's, a lot of different things about my life that affected me in a lot of major ways, and they're not, and it's not a real positive bed of roses kind of stories. These are like very hurtful and harmful things that have happened, but I do have to talk about it from time to time. Talk about like how these things transpire. And then hopefully you'll be able to relate. You'll understand. And if you don't, that's okay. Thank you for listening. And if you can relate, then wow. I mean, I am in awe, because these are some tough, um uh, I don't know what they even call it. It is just tough to face and tough to go through, and just to kind of and still be okay. Stay on my side of the street, keep it clean, no matter what. And one good example, which has happened a couple of times, but this one time, years back when I was living in a different city, creative designer, it was like flavor of the town, man. I was completely awesome, hands down. I mean, there was like, my creative designs were just really, really fucking cool. Sorry for the language, but really just badass. Very original, very innovative, very cutting edge, and very noticeable. I mean, people, I would sell them, make them, design them, make them in my own studio there, and that's just how it went down. And I was doing that until after a while I got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then towards the final years, I guess, before I left the city, is that that other people and other designers and production teams, so for some reason, did not like me. They just cannot take the fact that I was just such a creative designer, so creative that there was just nothing anyone could do. And so one show I was asked to be a part of, and it was three designers, um, and so and I chose yes. Like, yeah, okay, we can do this. And then there was the first hiccup, and I was like, well, maybe I can't. And then they said, no, but we want you to headline it. We want you to be like the main designer, and we're willing to even pay you. And I was like, and I've been paid to do shows in the past, so it didn't really, they knew that, that people had paid me too. So I went ahead and accepted the whole thing at that point, and then it all turned against me. It really just like kapow, boom, the hate, the envy, the jealousy, the how can we stop this guy from having a great show, and that started out from the very get go. So everyone on the production team, like, and there was only like 3 or 4 people, and they included the other 2 designers, and so it became the whole production team and other designers and anyone else they can find to ally with them to go against me, to monkey wrench me. I mean, the DJ even lost my music before I even went on. They come back and they're like, DJ lost your CD, man. I was like, how can he lose my CD? I just gave him my CD like 3 hours ago. How can you just lose it? And they're like, I don't know. And I was like, well, it was just like backstabbing, manipulating, and messing with me to guarantee to them that my show would be so unsuccessful, and they would glow because they were there showing their stuff, and so they would be like, oh, look at me, and then like, ooh, look at, this other designer who doesn't have his act together. And because they didn't let me have my act together. They refused to let me have dress rehearsals. In fact, I started one dress rehearsal, and then they stopped me within 5 minutes, of doing my routine, working with the models and the talent, to what was going to happen with my segment of the show. And so that was gone. Fit-ins were out of, like, not going to happen. They always wanted to know what my designs look like. They were always trying to, kind of get into my little world and try to get me to somehow reveal what I was doing so they can somehow maneuver themselves around it. So that's and the whole time I'm not even upset. I could see it all going down. I could see it all playing out the way it was playing out. Without doubt. I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. I knew what was happening, and I just went ahead and saw it through. I did the best I could do with what I had, and I had like little to nothing to work with, because it was all just stripped from me. So they, the long story short, they paid me to headline a show, and then they also did everything they could to like crash and burn my show at the same time. So it was a major hate setup, man. I'm talking, conspiracy, people having to think this through, have conversations with other people about me, about how to hate me, how to hurt me, how to mess around with my livelihood, and why? Because I'm not a bad person, I'm not a hurtful person, I'm not a harmful person. And the reason why, because I was so darn creative and so good at it that it took everything they could throw at me to make me have a bad show. That's a lot of hate. That's a lot of conspiracies, a lot of conversation, a lot of building allies, a lot of evil, man, a lot of demons involved. If you look at it in the spiritual battlefield, I mean, it took a team of demons to come after me in every way, from every angle. And I just shined through. I didn't react in the way I think they wanted me to react. I saw the way I saw what was going on. I had to accept it, and I accepted it really fast, and just did the best I could with what I had. And just be okay with that, and then go home. But I wasn't about to retaliate. I wasn't about to attack. I wasn't, going out and calling them out on their, hatred. I let them live with it. I let them, just be by themselves with it. I mean, they didn't get a reaction from me that I think they wanted to get. So my show was a little messed up, my segment. So what? I'd already done a bajillion shows before that, so it wasn't like, this was going to make or break me. It was just sad to see that much hate. It was sad to see that many people coming together to just attack little old me, just trying to strip me of everything I had, and that I worked and worked and worked so hard on doing. I didn't become a creative designer like that, man. It wasn't like a natural thing. I had spent thousands and thousands of hours, working on it, perfecting it, coming up with my own original process, and learning and learning and learning and doing and doing and doing, paying the price that, that I don't think these, other creative designers, other fashion designers around me at the time could not even fathom. I don't think they realized like how much passion I had to put into this, in order to be who I was, at the time. And even if they did, they couldn't even begin to take the first step to begin that journey. Because it is a journey, and it is tough. It is a tough journey. And I did it, and I earned it, and I was really good at it, man. By the end, I'm still am a really kick-ass creative designer. I know the runway, man. I know the runway so well, and that was the best part of me was being able to do that. And so and I've had some really great shows too, but that was the one that I wanted to bring up because of the hate thing. Well, how does that happen? Where does that come from? Why, how can people even look in a mirror at the end of that kind of treatment, of treating someone else like that, and look at themselves? What are they saying to themselves? Like, yeah, we showed him, didn't we? But they didn't really show me anything. They just have to self-reflect on their own demon, their own evilness. And how do they even sleep like, that know that they purposely, deliberately, and with energy try to mess around and monkey wrench an innocent person like me, who was just doing his best. But they, just me doing my best was, they couldn't even have that. I mean, that was just, I would still be kicking butt. So, that's, those are the factors that kind of play into it. It could be a mixture of jealousy or envy, or we want to just tear you down. We want to bring you down for just because, we're haters and we dislike you. And so we're going to converge together and work against you, Michael. Me. Literal me. Just me. I just couldn't believe, and like I said, I always kept my side of the road clean. And even though when all that was going on, it felt like I was wearing a rose color or purple color kind of sunglasses, too. Like, it all, it was okay. It was okay. It was okay, man. It was, because there was nothing I could do. There was no way I was going to jump into a fight and try to, and let that distract me from doing my best. And so I just kept doing my best and doing my best, and for what it was worth. But I'm also human. Give me a break. I'm a human being. Those things, I mean, if they were to happen to you, you would just be crushed. I know you would. To know that there's a whole group of people going against you and when you're doing something, you don't know what it's like to wear my shoes. If there's only a few of you that do. And for those people, I admire you. I respect you. And I hope you are watching this because I want us to relate to each other. Because, these are things that people need to hear that never hear it. And if you're participating and allying with other people in some kind of hate movement toward one person, then shame on you, man. What are you trying to do? Who do you and your group of people think you are? Some supreme judge? You can just, mess around with innocent people, try to take their livelihood from them. I mean, that's pretty much like taking money from me. It's trying to steal from me in a lot of ways too, by making me look bad. And putting that much energy into it. And not just one person, not just two, not just three. We're talking like 5, 6, 7. We're talking a lot a lot. I'm going against a lot. Or I've done it in the past. And I've survived. And I'm here to tell you the tale. It's part of my testimony of how to keep your side of the road clean. Not to be gas-lamped. Not to let people set you off emotionally. To just do your best, stick to your own business, and keep moving down your side of the road. And that's, you'll be fine with that, man. I mean, you'll find you're wearing some kind of mystical purple sunglasses yourself. And I believe that if it is a spiritual battle, and the reason I had that special vision going on during those times is because if there is a spiritual battle, it's because the angels were protecting me. I was being protected. I was completely 100% on my own. I mean, and I needed protection. And it had to, and the only people that could really, it wasn't friends, it wasn't family, it wasn't any individual that was there for me at all. So, this just had to be an enlightenment thing, a spiritual thing, a trust and faith, kind of thing with me, and I think that they, those angels or whomever, put those glasses on me so I could survive. I would be able to survive all that hatred and stay in my love and stay in my trueness and keep my character. And let people punch me and kick me and backstab me, steal from me. That's, and if you're, like I said, if you're one of those people and you're part of it, stop doing it. It's a bad thing. And because once you do something like that, it's just going to turn on you. You're going to think like, oh yeah, that's all done. I'm done deal. No, it's not a done deal. It's all going to come back on you. And all that stuff you put out there, it's just going to go right back and darken your soul and hurt you. And hurt you bad. More than you could hurt me. Now, that stuff just bounced off of me. It didn't really affect me in the way that I think people wanted to affect me. And that's why it took so many at the same time to attack me. Like, just attack me. Look at me. It's just me. Oh, dear. I mean, thank you for letting me share that. It's it's happened more than once. I can say that much. And even when I moved to a different city, I was already seeing hints of that happening. You know, before I could even do anything. You know, they were already attacking me. Oh my God, gee whiz. Where does this hate come from? You people out there in the real world are just contagious with your hate movements, man, and just, spreading bad things about good people. Like, and for no reason, no real reason whatsoever. Except for the fact that it's okay. People maybe like to play and they like being in hateful movements rather than being in loving movements. And I'm more about being in a loving movement. I'm more about, that's where American Cheer Genesis comes from. It's part of my testimony. It's all about unifying, man. That whole story was all about, like, chaos, separation, division, attack. And I'm standing here saying, no, we need to unify. We need to grow together. We need to, grow past that kind of stuff, that kind of freaky hate stuff, and start to work toward real solutions. Not real solutions and like how we're going to tear down somebody for whatever reason, like in real solutions, and how can we acknowledge the people that worked really hard to be there, like me, or how can we help save America? How do we save Americans? And we won't do it through hate. We gotta, love is the only option. And you're probably gonna find that I'm the only person, or very few people, is talking about past experiences and knowing that love is still the solution. It's not, if anybody wants to play a victim, if anybody wants to be in the hate movement, it should be me. I can tell you that much. I have been a victim so many times. And I still am. People probably still treat me as a victim, and they probably act like they're the victim and I'm the victimizer. They turn it all around with lies and manipulation and deception. And that's just what the stuff that happens to me. And if it happened to you, or if it's happening to you, oh my God. God be with you, man. It is some tough stuff to live through. To know that's, and not tough like in me feeling, it's just know that happens, that people are thinking that way. People are waking up that way. And they're not waking up to love and unity, what I'm talking about being an American Cheer. It's not about that at all. So we need to grow past that, and even those crazy storylines, which I hope doesn't happen to anybody else out there. It's not a good place to be when you're being attacked. So, that's where we got to join together, and why we have to join together. Because, I don't want you to be alone and feel alone. Like I know what that feels like. And I don't want you to have to face it alone like that either. You don't have to. No, you don't. I relate to you. And you join us, join me, join the American Cheers. Let's reverse this whole thing. Let's turn it around. It's possible, and it's possible, and it's possible. I don't care how many people say it's impossible, or I can't do it, or I won't do it, because it's impossible. No, it's possible. It's just lacking a little bit of courage. That's, I wouldn't say you're scared, because I'm not judging anybody, but it does take some courage, without doubt. I know that much. So to step up and with your own free will and say yes, 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 yes. I want to be on the winning team. I don't want to hurt people. I want to help them. Or if you don't have even help people, just don't hurt people. Is a good step. And stick to your own business, mind your own life, keep your side of the road clean. That is still a good thing to do if you can do it without getting inside, without hate. So that's my story for now today. Thank you again for listening to it. I know it's a little bit different from what I'm talking about, but these are things that have to be talked about anyway. So let's just get it on the table right now and start moving forward. Okay? Peace, love. Have an amazing day because you're such a badass. I believe in you. We'll talk later.